Clear with the first question, right? Whichever the method you want, you apply, you will get the answer, right? Second one. Please see the second question. It's a very, very easy case, right? Please see here. What was the average production of fertilizer during the given year? They are asking the average production of fertilizer. What is the meaning of average? Average is nothing but sum of the quantity divided by number of quantities, and they are asking for production. Production means you need to refer only the gray part of the graph, right? See here. Average production of fertilizer during the given year. So that is nothing but 4404 plus 4533 plus 5181 plus 5756 plus 6950, because it is average. Sum of the quantity divided by number of quantities. How many terms are there? There are 5 terms divided by 5. See here. Instead of adding all these things and wasting our time in the examination, think logically, think smart. Please see here. Instead of adding all the numbers, add only the unit digit. Add only the unit digit. 4 plus 3 7. 7 plus 1 8. 8 plus 6 14. 14 plus 0 is 14. It is 14 by 5. 14 by 5 is nothing but 2.8. It is nothing but 2.8. That means answer the unit digit should be 8. Unit digit of the answer should be 8. Check out the answer option. There is only one option which is matching with the unit digit 8. That means the last digit 8. That is nothing but 5364.8. Answer for this question is 5364.8. Again I am repeating, sir. It is not about solving this question. It is about how you solve that question. Everyone knows how to add all these numbers. Everyone knows how to divide that number by 5. There is no greatness in solving that question. But how you solve this question, how others will solve this question will make all the difference. DI is only about calculation. Please think smartly when you are calculating any problem. Just don't blindly solve all the problems or all the simplification basic things. Right? Clear, right? Third question. I'll solve all the questions, all the 5 questions in the first case. Then you can comment on. Please here. Question number 3. In how many years is the production more than the average production of given year? What is that they are asking the question? In how many years is the production more than the average production? Just now we calculated the average production. Average production we got it as 5364.8. They are asking the production should be more than this average production. In how many years this is validated, or in how many years this is true? That is the question, right? First year it is production is 4404. Is 4404 greater than 5364.8? No, ruled out. Second year it is 4533, not greater, ruled out. Third year it is 5181, it is also not greater, ruled out. Fourth year it is 5756. 5756 is greater than 5364.8. That is 1 year. Fifth year is 6950. 6950 is also greater than 5364.8. That is the second year. In how many years is the average production greater than the average production? It is in 2 years. That is nothing but the last 2 years in this case, right? Answer for this question is in 2 years the production is greater than the average production of the given year. Clear, right? It's a very, very easy case. Slowly we will increase the level of difficulty. We will take some original examination questions, SBA questions, all the bank examination questions we will take after class proceeding. Clear with the approach? Fourth question, please here. Fourth one. What was the ratio of production to import in 1985-86? What is the production in 1985-86? It is 5756. It is 5756. They are asking the ratio divided by import in 1985-86 is 1924. Import in 1985-86 is 1924. You can also use that logic what we use. 1924 is nothing but 100%. 10% is nothing but 192.4. If you are so obsessed with wasting time in the examination, please use this approach. This is not the best method to use for this particular ratio. Please here. Think logically. The ratio given is 5756 divided by 1924. Go with the answer option. That will give you the answer very quickly rather than doing all these steps. Go with the answer option. First option is 1:2. First option is 1:2. That means it is in a fraction form, it is 1/2. 1/2 means if the numerator is 1, denominator should be 2 times of the numerator. Numerator is 5000 something. Denominator should be 2 times of 5000. That means it should be close to 10,000. Is the denominator 10,000? No. First option is ruled out. Second option is 2:1. It is the reverse. If the denominator is 1, numerator should be 2 times of the denominator. Denominator is approximately 2000. Numerator should be close to 4000. But it is more than 4,000. Second option is ruled out. Second option is ruled out. Third option, 3:1. 3:1. If the numerator is or if the denominator is 1, numerator should be 3 times of it. Denominator is 1900. Numerator is 3 times of 1900, which is nothing but 5700. Answer for this question is 3:1. If you observe the last option is given is 4:5. It is not in the ratio of 4:5 also. Understanding? I am not telling, if you observe the first question of this case letter, we solved a question. It is 3 divided by 1927. We solved in 2 methods. I am not telling this is the method to be followed. I am only telling you that this is one of the methods to be followed. We solved close to 4 to 5 questions before solving the case letter, before starting the case letter. That doesn't mean that those 4 to 5 questions only we need to follow for every question. There are so many other techniques also to find the answer. This is one of the techniques among all those techniques. Understanding, right? Please always do not start taking as denominator as 100% whenever you see a fraction. It mandatorily need not be that way. You can solve it in so many other methods also. This is one of the methods. Clear with the approach? Last one. Fifth question also, then you can copy down. Please see here. Question number 5. Question number 5. What was the percentage increase? What was the percentage increase in imports from 1980 to 83 to 86 to 87? They are asking about the imports. That means only refer about the white part of the graph. What they are telling, percentage increase in imports from 80 to 83 to 86 87. In 80 to 83, what was the import that was present? What is the value that is given? 80 to 83. It is 605. 80 to 83, it is 605. In 86 87, what is the value? 86 87, it is 1933. It is 1933. See here. Initially it was 605. That should come in the denominator. Your denominator should always be the initial value, right? Numerator should be 605 is becoming 1933. 605 is becoming 1933. That means there is an increase of how much? There is an increase of 1328 from 605. There is an increase of 1328 from 605. That is nothing but 1933 minus 605, right? What is the percentage increase is what they are asking. Again, don't take it as 100% and keep on solving all those methods. It's a very simple fact. Suppose, think logically. Suppose if it is 600, approximately, if it is 600, suppose if this is 1200, then it is nothing but 2 times, 2 by 1, or it is 200%, right? But it is more than 1200. It is more than 1200. That means answer should be more than 200%. Because it is not too much more than 1200. Answer also should not be too much more than 200%. Check out with the answer option. First option is 275%. It is too much more than 200%. Second option is 320%. It is exceeding 200% by a greater margin. Third option is 189%. It is not greater than 200%. Only option left is fourth option. That is nothing but 219%. Answer for this particular question is 219%. Clear with the approach? Again I am repeating. Whenever you get a fraction, please always do not start with taking the denominator as 100%, 10%, all those cases. That is one way to solve. There are so many beautiful other ways also to solve. I will discuss so many other techniques also as the class proceeds. Whichever the method which is comfortable for you, you pick that method. I am not telling this is the best method or this is the best method. It all depends upon the number given is the question. Clear with that, right? Please write it. First question, first caselet is a very, very simple caselet. Slowly we will move on to the bank level questions. Please write it. Clear, right? Can I continue further? Second case. Second one is a very, very good case. Please see that. Before we start writing on the board, let us understand what is the graph telling you about. Directions from question 6 to 8. The following is a multiple bar chart showing men's and women's average daily earnings in certain industries. They are telling about the daily earnings of men and women, average daily earnings of men and women. Study the chart and answer the question given below. Study the chart and answer the question given below. The graph is telling you about multiple bar chart showing men's and women's daily average earnings in rupees. It is given in rupees. And the graph is telling x-axis is giving you years. It is representing the years. Y-axis is representing average daily earnings in rupees. Y-axis is representing average daily earnings in rupees. Right, see here. And they have also given that white part of the graph represents for men, black part of the graph represents for women. Right? Now see here. Please see here. Question number 6. Listen to this carefully. Question number 6. In which year is the ratio of men's average daily earnings and women's average daily earnings the highest? They are asking the ratio of men's average earnings and women's average earnings. It should be the highest ratio. Which ratio is the highest? In which year it is the highest is the question. See here. Let us go year by year. In 1980, men's average daily earnings is 35.8, women's it is 18.3. Suppose next year if I take in 1981, it is according to the graph 40.9 and 21.1. 1982, it is 48.6 and 27. I think everyone is understanding it from where we are writing these values. It is just picking from the graph, nothing else. Right? 1983. Next year, 1983, it is given as 59.5 for men, 34.2 for women. In 1984, it is given as 66.9 divided by 40.6. Now they are asking you the question. Among all these ratios, which is the highest ratio? Which is the highest ratio? That is the question, right? Here. If you use a different logic, what we discussed earlier, taking this as the denominator as 100% all those things, you need to do it 5 times. It will take lot of time in your examination, right? That is not the best way to solve for this particular question. Listen to this carefully. Suppose here it is 18.3. The denominator in the first ratio is 18.3. What is the double of 18.3? Double of 18.3 is 36.6. Right? It is 36.6. Suppose if the numerator is 36.6. Suppose if the numerator is 36.6, then it becomes 36.6 divided by 18.3. That ratio will be equal to 2. Right? That ratio will be equal to 2. But it is not 36.6. It is less than 36.6. And it is slightly less than 36.6. Therefore, the ratio should be, or the value should be slightly less than 2. The value should be slightly less than 2. Same is the case here. This is 21.1. Double of 21.1 is 42.2. Suppose if this is 42.2, then it becomes 2. The ratio is equal to 2. But it is less than 42.2. And it is slightly less than 42.2. Therefore, this also should be slightly less than 2. This also should be slightly less than 2. But if you observe in these 3 cases will tell you, this is 27. Double of 27 is 54. But the numerator here is 48. It is too much less than 54. This can never be the maximum value. This is ruled out. Similarly, 34 double is 68. But here it is 59. Too much less than each other. Ruled out. 40 double is 80. But here it is 66. Too much deviation is present. That is also ruled out. That means, suppose if you are solving this question in the examination, if you are writing these 3 values, you are wasting lot of time in the examination. Looking into the graph itself, you need to identify that definitely these 3 cannot be the answer, because the deviation between the numerator and denominator double. It is too much, right? Either one of them should be the answer. Among these 2, which is the answer? Let us see right now. Right? Before that, please write down this first. Then we will discuss how to identify which is the highest fraction among these 2. First, write down this. Please do not write all these things again and again and waste your time in the examination. Why did I write here? It is only for explanation purpose. Clear, right? Please write down. Clear? Now see here. Among these 2, which is the highest fraction? Listen to this carefully. Before we solve that original question, let us understand something else. Please see here. Suppose, assume that I have 3 fractions. 1 by 2, 2 by 3, 1 by 2, 2 by 3, 3 by 4. These are the 3 fractions. 1 by 2 is nothing but 50%. 2 by 3 66%. 3 by 4 is 75%. Right? 3 by 4 is 75%. Among these three fractions, which is the highest fraction, highest value, 75%. How to identify it? Listen to this. It's a very, very simple logic. If you observe here, all these fractions are nothing but the proper fractions. All these fractions are proper fractions. What is the meaning of a proper fraction? Numerator should be lesser than the denominator. For a proper fraction, I am discussing for a proper fraction right now, sir. Right? See here. All the fractions which are written above nothing but a proper fraction. For a proper fraction, numerators are, in this example I am talking about, numerators are 1, 2 and 3. Denominators are 2, 3 and 4. Right? Denominators are 2, 3 and 4. For a proper fraction, higher the value in the numerator, higher the value in the denominator, that fraction will be highest. Among 1, 2 and 3, which numerator is highest? 3 is highest. Among 2, 3 and 4, which denominator is highest? 4 is highest. Higher the value in the numerator, higher the value in the denominator, that fraction will be the highest fraction for a proper fraction. Higher the value in the numerator, higher the value in the denominator, higher the value in the denominator, the fraction will be the highest. The fraction will be the highest. That is what we can predict from this example. Similarly, if I take an improper fraction, let me reverse these numbers itself. It becomes 2 by 1, 3 by 2 and 4 by 3. These are nothing but the improper fractions where the numerator is greater than the denominator. 2 by 1 is nothing but 2. 3 by 2 is nothing but 1.5. 4 by 3 is nothing but 1.33. 4 by 3 is nothing but 1.33. If you observe here, higher the value in the numerator, which is the highest among all these things. First of all, these are all improper fractions. The fractions which I have written in the board, these are all improper fractions. Among the three fractions or among the three numerators, 2, 3 and 4, which is the highest numerator, 4 is highest. Higher the value in the numerator, higher the value in the numerator. Among denominators 1, 2 and 3 is the highest. Higher the value in the denominator, higher the value in the numerator, higher the value in the denominator. That fraction will be the lowest fraction. That will be the lowest fraction. So this will result the fraction as the lowest. Fraction as the lowest. That means if you observe here, in simple, if I want to remember, proper in the sense that everything is proper. If it is higher, fraction also will be higher. Improper in sense, improper means something which is not proper. If it is higher and higher here, the other thing should be there in the fraction. That means it should be the lowest fraction. Very, very simple way of remembering. For a proper fraction, higher the value in the numerator, higher the value in the denominator, that fraction will be the highest fraction. Right? Here. Now if you observe the two fractions which are given in this exact question, the sixth question, 35.8 divided by 18.3. Other fraction is 40.9 divided by 21.1. If you observe, both the fractions are improper fraction. Both the fractions are improper fraction. For an improper fraction, if you observe the numerators, 35.8 and 40.9, which is the highest fraction or highest numerator, 40.9 is the highest numerator. The 18.3 divided by 21.1, which is the highest denominator, 21.1 is the highest denominator. Higher the value in the numerator, higher the value in the denominator, that fraction will be the lowest. That means this is the lowest fraction compared to this fraction. That means this is also ruled out because the question is asking for highest fraction. Highest fraction. Answer for this question is 1980. This is that. Clear with the approach? It's a very, very basic level of understanding that you need to know to solve a very, very difficult or a tricky question. It is not about solving. Again, I am repeating. It is about how you solve a particular fraction. Not always you should take it as 100% and keep on solving it the way we did initially before taking the calculator. Right? First write down this question. Please remember this point. For a proper fraction, it is higher, higher and higher. For an improper fraction, it is higher, higher and lower. Right? Please write it. Clear with the approach? See your current question. 7th one. Listen to this carefully. This is also one of the good technique to solve for a 7th question. Again, please do not use any of the lengthier method to solve this particular ratio. Please here, listen to this. In which year is the percentage increase in the average daily earnings of men over the preceding year the maximum? They are asking Average daily earnings of men. You should compare with the previous year and you should tell which percentage increase is happening more. That is the maximum ratio which is happening for the which year is what the question is asking about. See here. If you observe, let me go by the first option. First option is 1981. That means I need to compare with 1980. 1980, what was the value of men given in the graph? It is 35.8. That should come in the denominator because that is the initial value. Initially 1980 is coming, then only 1981 will come, right? Your initial value should always come in the denominator, right? What is numerator? 35.8 is becoming 40.9 for the next year. How much increase is happening? Approximately there is an increase of 5. Approximately there is an increase of 5. Second option is 1984. Compare with 1983. In 1983, men value is given as 59.5. It is given as 59.5. Next year it is becoming 66.9. 59 is becoming 66. Approximately 7. Third option it is 1982. 1982 means compare with 1981. In 1981, what is the value of men that is given? 40.9. That should come in the denominator because that is the initial value. 40.9 is becoming 48.6. Approximately 8 increase. Last option 1983. Compare with 1982. In 1982, how much was the value for men? 48.6. In 1982 it was 48.6. 48.6 is becoming 59.5 in the next year. Approximately increase of 11. Now, out of these ratios are the fractions. Which is the highest? Which is the maximum in the given question? Right? Ask the question. Very clear. Very simple. If I approximate it as 5 by 35. 5 by 35 is nothing but 1 by 7. We already know that 1 by 7 is nothing but 14.2857%. That is the reason I tell you that fraction to percentage conversion is very, very important. Not only in terms of percentage topic, it is also very important in terms of GI sets. If you don't know fraction to percentage conversion, you will waste a lot of time by solving that particular ratio or a fraction. Clear, right? Please know the fraction to percentage conversion. Next it is 7 by 59. I will approximate it to 7 by 56. If I approximately write it as 7 by 56, 7 by 56 is 1 by 8. 1 by 8 is 12.5%. But if you observe carefully, actually 12.5% is when the denominator is 56. But actually denominator is 59. That means you need to increase the denominator. If the denominator increases, the value of the fraction will decrease. Answer should be less than 12.5% for this. That means they are asking the maximum. This is 14%. This is less than 12.5. This is already ruled out. Clear with the approach? Next. Now if I take this as approximately 8 by 40. 8 by 40 is 1 by 5. 1 by 5 is nothing but 20%. This is 20%, this is 14%. Now this is ruled out because they are asking for maximum value. Last one. This type, if I take it as 11 by 44, approximately 11 by 44. 11 by 44 is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 is nothing but 25%. It is 25%. It is 25% when the denominator is 44, but actual denominator is 48. That means you need to increase your denominator. If the denominator increases, the value of the fraction will decrease. Answer should be less than 25%. But because it is not too much increased, answer should also be not too much less than 25%. That means somewhere it will be around 22 or 23%. This is 23%. This is 20%. They are asking for the maximum value. Now this is ruled out. Answer for this question is 1980. Clear with the approach? If you still have a doubt whether it is too much exceeding less than 20% and this will become the maximum, you try out in your normal approach. Or you can use some other approach of taking denominator as 100% all those things. Or you can use even a smarter approach. Just now we discussed 8 by 40 is a proper fraction. 11 by 48 is also a proper fraction. Higher the value in the numerator, higher the value in the denominator, that fractional value should be highest. That means this fraction should be highest compared to this fraction. That is the reason we got the answer as 1980. That is also one of the techniques. Understanding there are several ways to solve a particular fraction. Again I am telling you, DI is only about calculation. If you know how to calculate a particular fraction, and if you know how to convert it to a percentage and check whether it is the maximum thing, if you know how to calculate like this by taking the case what we discussed initially for a proper fraction and for an improper fraction, if you know how to calculate a bigger fraction what we discussed initially before starting the first case later, those are some things which you need to remember. If you know all those ways of solving a particular fraction, DI caselet will be the most easiest thing will be in your examination. No other question will be easier than your DI caselet if you know all these smarter approaches. You need to know the way to solve the question, right? Please write down the question. Clear with the approach, right? Question number 8. Here, question number 8. It's a very easy question. The difference between the average daily earnings of men and women over successive years. If you observe the first year, what is the difference between average daily earnings of men and women? 39 minus 18. Sorry, 35 minus 18. 35 minus 18 is 17. First year the difference is 17. Second year, in the year 1981, the difference between men and women is 40 minus 21. 40 minus 21 is 19. Third year the difference is 48 minus 27. It is 21. Fourth year the difference is it is 25. Like that if you observe what it is happening, first year it is 17, second year it is 19, third year 21. What it is happening? It is increasing. The option is increasing. Answer for this question is increasing. Clear with the approach? This is what you need to understand in this particular question. How to solve a question or how to solve a fraction is what you need to know from these two cases. Or in other words, the question number 6 and 7. Clear, right? Please understand the way of solving a particular fraction. Always don't be in a hurry to take it as denominator as 100% and get the numerator. Again I am repeating, that is only one of the method. There are several ways to solve a particular fraction. Clear, right? Please write. Clear? Can I move on to the next case left? Please see here. Next question is a very good question. Probably most of the students who solve this question will make mistake in this question. Let's whatever it is. 11th question. Listen to this carefully. 11th one. The average cotton productivity measured in kgs per hectare of all the cotton growing countries in the world other than the 9 countries shown in figure A for the year 1981-82 is how much? That is what they are asking. Now, again you will think that all the cotton growing countries in the world other than the 9 countries, if you will again think the same as there are only 9 countries given in the graph, there are no other information given about the other countries of the world. Therefore, you will tell the answer cannot be answered. In this example or in this particular question, cannot be answered is an incorrect answer. Why it is an incorrect answer? This is where your observation will come into picture. Please read the question carefully. Average cotton productivity measured in kgs per hectare of all the cotton growing countries in the world other than the 9 countries shown in figure A for the year 1981-82. If you observe the graph carefully, figure A, please see the first graph. There is something called as world. Please see the graph carefully, sir. There is something called as world. From the last, it is the fourth one, right? There is something called as world. That means there are 9 countries given in the graph. We agree for it. But there is also given something as world. That world will represent the remaining countries. That is the reason the question they are telling other than the 9 countries. Other than the 9 countries. That means answer for this question, it is directly given in the graph for the world as 461. Answer for this question is 461. That is what I am telling. Till now I was telling, for the first 2 cases I told you that DI is only about calculations. Now I am rephrasing my statement saying that DI is not only about calculations, DI is about observation. DA is a combination of calculation plus observation. This question does not require any calculation. It is only your observation skills. If you are not a good observer, you will make a mistake in this question. In the remaining two questions, what we have taught, it is not about observation, it is about calculation. If you are not good observer, if you are not good in calculations, DA will be the most difficult thing for you in your examination. Clear, right? Please read the question carefully, please read the x and y axis carefully, please read the graph twice. Please understand the behavior of the graph before you solve the question. Just blindly don't enter into the questions and solve the question the way you want. It is not that way to solve, right? Please understand. Please read the question carefully, you will understand it very clearly. Clear with the approach? That is your 11th question. Any doubt till 11th question? Clear, right, all the questions? Next. 12th question. 12th one, see here, 12th one. The average cotton productivity in 81-82 of all the states in India not shown in figure B. They themselves are telling in the question answer, not shown in figure B. When it is not shown in figure B, how can we answer that particular question? Answer for this question is also cannot be determined, cannot be answered. Understanding the approach, you need not read the full part of the question also. They themselves are telling that it is not shown in figure B. When it is not shown in figure B, we don't have information about the remaining states of India. Answer is cannot be answered. Right? See here, I am more worried about the 13th question. Listen to this 13th question. Please see here, 13th question. Please see the question. If the total number of hectares under cotton cultivation in Haryana state of India is 4 times as many as the number of hectares under cotton cultivation in Israel, we may conclude which of the following. We may conclude which of the following. What they are telling is the question is total number of hectares under cotton cultivation in Haryana is 4 times as many as the number of hectares under cotton cultivation in Israel. That means I will assume it as let the cotton cultivation in Israel, let the cotton cultivation in Israel, let it be, I will call it as X hectares. I am assuming it as cotton cultivation in Israel as X hectares. Now the question says total number of hectares under cotton cultivation in Haryana state of India is 4 times that of Israel. That means therefore Haryana how much produced? Haryana produced will be equal to cotton cultivation under Haryana will be equal to 4 times of Israel. That means it becomes 4x hectares. Right? According to the question, it is 4x hectares. Now see here. Now if you observe, we may conclude which of the following in the question. There are 3 statements. First statement. Haryana produced more cotton than Israel in 1981-82. Haryana produced more cotton. What is produced? Number of kgs produced. Number of kgs produced is equal to, can I write it as number of kgs produced is equal to productivity into, can I write it as productivity into number of hectares. Can I write like this according to the unit given in the question? Productivity into number of hectares. Right? In the first question we were not knowing the number of hectares. Now we know how many hectares are cultivated in each of the states or country which is given in that question, right? That means number of kgs produced by Israel, or what is the question? Haryana produced more cotton than Israel in 81-82. Haryana produced is equal to how much will be Haryana produced? This is nothing but Haryana cotton cultivation. This is nothing but cotton cultivation in Haryana. Cotton cultivation in Haryana. See here. Haryana produced is equal to productivity of Haryana in 1981-82. According to the graph, what is the productivity of Haryana in 81-82? It is given as 354. This is given as 354 into number of hectares produced by Haryana is 4x. If you multiply, you will get 1416x. Similarly, Israel produced is equal to how many kgs are produced by Israel? This is given by productivity of Israel. According to the graph, it is 1387 into number of hectares Israel is producing is x hectares. This becomes 1387x. This becomes 1387x. First statement says Haryana produced more cotton than Israel. Haryana is producing 1416. Israel is producing 1387. Is Haryana producing more cotton than Israel? Yes. First statement is true. Similarly, second statement. Israel produced more cotton than Haryana in 81-82. If Haryana is producing more cotton than Israel, Israel cannot produce more cotton than Haryana. That means second statement given in the question is it is a false statement. It is not true. Right? Third statement. Please see the third statement. The third statement says India produced more cotton than Israel in 81-82. Some students will make a mistake again saying it is an incorrect statement, but actually it is a true statement. Why? Because some students will think like this: India produced more cotton than Israel in 81-82. They will think like we don't have the complete information about India. India is nothing but a combination of so many states, but there are only 9 or 10 states given in the graph. We don't have the information about the remaining states. Think logically. If you think logically, Haryana is one of the state of India. Haryana is one of the state of India. One of the state of India itself is producing more cotton than Israel. Will India not produce more cotton than Israel then? Right? Forget about the remaining states of India. Assume that the remaining states will not even produce anything. Still Haryana is producing more than Israel. That means India is producing more than Israel. Right? Think logically that it is not about the remaining states given or not. Haryana being one of the states of India, that itself is producing more cotton than Israel. Will India not produce more cotton than Israel then? Being the other states, combine the other states, assuming that even if the other state does not produce anything also, still India becomes more than Israel because Haryana is more than Israel. That means third statement is also true. Third statement is also true. If you observe first statement and third statement are true, that means both 1 and 3. But there is no option called as both 1 and 3. Therefore, answer for this question is none of these. There is no option as both 1 and 3. Answer for this question is none of these. Right? There might be some other students who will ask it out. How will you identify that Haryana is one of the state of India? That is your assumption. That is according to the social or according to the whatever it is. But how can you assume that Haryana is the state of India? It is not an assumption. It is given in the graph. And it is also said in the question. Please read the question carefully. If the total number of hectares under cotton cultivation in Haryana state of India, it is given as Haryana state of India. That means Haryana is a state of India. It is clearly mentioned in the question. It is not our assumption. Clear with the approach? This is a very beautiful caselet where most of the students will make a mistake saying that productivity and producer, both of them are same. Actually, they both are different. Right? What is the learning from this question? Learning from this question is it is very important for you to observe the x-axis and y-axis carefully. Observe the question and the data given in the graph. Observe each and every part of the graph. DI is also about observation. That is the learning from this question. Right? Please write down this question. Clear with third caselet? Clear right everyone? Fourth caselet in your bar graph. This is the last caselet in bar graph. Then we'll move on to pie chart and other forms of the graph. Right? Please here. Fourth caselet.